Every time you open your phone, you are stepping into a prison. Not one with bars, guards, and chains, but with cameras, algorithms, and invisible eyes. You never know exactly where you are being watched. And that's the genius of it. Michel Foucault called this the Panopticon, and in the 21st century, it has gone digital. Today, it shapes how we live, how we think, and even who we are. The story begins in the 18th century with the English philosopher Jeremy Bentham. Bentham designed what he thought would be the perfect prison. He called it the Panopticon. Imagine a circular building, cells stuck in a ring. In the center, a tall watchtower. From that tower, a single guard could see every prisoner. But the prisoners couldn't see the guard. That uncertainty changed everything. Because if you never know when you are being watched, you act as you are being watched all the time. Bentham believed this was brilliant. He thought it would reform criminals, reduce costs, and create discipline without endless guards or violence. But Foucault would later show us the darker truth. This wasn't just a prison design. It was a blueprint for power itself. Almost 2 centuries later, the French philosopher Michel Foucault gave the Panopticon a radical new meaning. In his book Discipline and Punish, Foucault argued that the Panopticon was not just about prisons. It was a metaphor for how modern societies control people. Think about schools, rows of desks, exams, attendance sheets. They don't just measure learning. They sort, rank, and label the good student, the lazy one, the troublemaker. Factories as well. They track productivity, punctuality, mistakes. Even hospitals. They classify bodies into categories of sick, healthy, normal, or abnormal. These institutions are not neutral. They create categories, and those categories shape our identities. The Panopticon shows us that the most powerful control isn't physical chains. It is rather the feeling of being seen. And when you feel seen, you start to police yourself. Fast forward to today. The Panopticon hasn't disappeared. Today, it is digital. Every time we use our smartphones, open social media or shop online, we step into a system of surveillance far bigger than Bentham could have imagined. Our phones track where we go. Our browsers record what we search. Social media platforms collect every click, every like, and every share. Cameras follow us in public. Even our smart devices at home, Alexa, Google, Siri, are always listening. And here is the terrifying part. There is no guard in the tower anymore. The system doesn't need one. Algorithms watch, analyze, and predict us automatically. Surveillance has become invisible, constant, and normalized. And just like Foucault predicted, we have learned to police ourselves. On Instagram or TikTok, we carefully choose what to post. We filter photos, delete the ones that don't get enough likes, and perform versions of ourselves for invisible audiences. On Twitter, we censor what we say, worried about backlash, cancellation, or being misunderstood. It's not that someone is forcing us, it's that we've internalized the gaze. We edit ourselves because we know, or at least we feel, that we are always being watched. In the digital world, we've become prisoners and guards at the same time. The digital panopticon isn't just about privacy, it is about freedom. When every action is tracked, judged, and categorized, what happens to creativity? When you know every word, every joke, every photo could be recorded forever, do you still take risks? If every protest, every unpopular opinion, every radical idea is fledged, will people still speak out? And what happens to resistance itself? When algorithms decide what we see, what we know, and even what we believe, can we still say we are thinking for ourselves? Michel Foucault's warning was clear. Power doesn't just come from governments or police. It flows through invisible networks, through the platforms we scroll, the apps we trust, and the data we give away freely every day. Power doesn't always force us to obey, it teaches us to obey ourselves. The Panopticon was once a prison built with stone and steel. Today, it is a digital architecture built into the fabric of our lives. We carry it everywhere, in our pockets, in our apps, in our feeds. The question is not longer, are we being watched? The question is, how much have we learned to watch ourselves? So, are we truly free? Or we are all living inside a digital panopticon?